This is an informational video on how I sold my house without a seller agent. I initially hired a real estate agent to sell my house in 2015 and followed their advice on how to stage the house, times the list, yada yada. So the agent wanted 6 to 7% to split between the buyer's agent and themselves. I figured they are the professionals, so they'll earn their commission by using their experience to get the house sold fast. Needless to say, the advice and effort didn't work, and initially I thought it was a waste of time, but it actually taught me what not to do. The pictures published by the agent were not at the best angles, and the lighting provided very little that was appealing. After the first few weeks, I had a neighbor check out one of my open houses to see what he thought of the agent. He reported back that he was able to walk through the entire house before she noticed he was even there, and she never once got up from the dining room table to acknowledge him and was on the phone the entire time. I decided then that this agent was not acting on my behalf and had to go. We unlisted the house that fall, and toward the end of the winter we started interviewing agents for the eventual listing for the upcoming spring, using what I had learned from my previous experience. I started asking questions like what they would do for marketing, and it was cookie cutter to what I've already been doing. Were they flexible on the commissions? They were a rigid 4% seller, 2% buyer agent. Could they give me a list of comparables to my house? They didn't even come close to what I was trying to sell. How long would I be locked in for the contract with them? It was 6 months across the board to encompass the entire selling season. It didn't take me long to figure out I needed to try to sell the house on my own. No one would have a bigger stake in wanting it sold than me. Fortunately, my previous agent wasn't able to make a couple of the open houses, and I hosted them myself. I asked for people's feedback as to what their likes and dislikes of the home. It turned out that some of the potential buyers were under the impression that my siding was asbestos, but in fact it was a composite shingle, similar to the roof shingles but thicker. You can't properly market the house if you have to defend and explain something like that. Armed with this knowledge, I started pricing out certain upgrades like residing the house and adding a half a bath. I ended up getting prices on these things, but quickly found out I'll be doing these myself also. Those are on other video topics. Back to selling the house. So after I resided the house, added the half a bath, staged the rest of the house, now it was time to get the marketing plan in place. We decided to use a flat fee broker in order to add our listing to all the MLS websites that were once restricted to full service real estate agents. The fee was about $400 to list for the 6 months instead of the 3 to 4% of the sale price the full service agent wanted to list it. I decided to give the buyer's agent 4% versus the 2 to 3% that they normally get. This would put me on the top of the list for the most of the buyer's agents when they're with their clients. So instead of splitting 6 to 7% between the buyer's and seller's agent, I decided to give the person doing the most work the extra 1%. Let's face it, without the buyer's agent, we don't sell a house. So my total payout was close to 4.25% between the flat fee broker and the buyer's agent instead of 6 to 7%. Big savings. So we scheduled our first open house and we got a lot of interest. I was intent on listening to what the agents were saying to their clients as they walked through. You could tell they were trying to talk their clients into the house and get that 4% commission, even if the house wasn't a fit. It didn't take but 2 open houses over 3 weeks to get close to full price offer. If you haven't tried to sell a house before, maybe you visit some open houses in your neighborhood to see comparables for yourself. And maybe visit a flat fee broker's website to see if selling your house on your own is appealing. If you found this video was informative, please subscribe for video updates. Leave your comments and questions below. Thank you.